So are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Patriots, Gaytriots, Theytriots,
Caw-caw!
and everybody that wants to be a member of Asshole Island. We have some space. We are organizing to try to stay sane through all of this fuckery.
It's not as easy as it might look. It's a lot harder than people think.
What have you had it with, Pumps?
Okay, what I've had it with is when you have dinner companions that you're supposed to meet for dinner and they show up late and act like you're supposed to wait for them to order. No, if you're not there at the appointed time, we're all going to order. We're not waiting for you. Do you think that's rude?
This is why I don't go to dinner with people. It depends on the people. Like I would, if somebody asked me to go to dinner and they were 15 to 20 minutes late, I would wait for all of us to order together.
See, not me. I think you send in your order or you just order late because if you're not there, you're not there. And I only have one friend that does this to me. It bugs the living shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like it. Tardiness is something that really bothers me. But in the interest of being polite, I would wait for that person to arrive before I order. Now, I might order an appetizer. I'd say, oh, we ordered an appetizer while we were waiting. But I would not order my entree if it was a set meal that we were all taking time out of our lives to have together.
Even if that person makes you go to bed later. See, that's what I'm like, you're getting into my bedtime here.
If I had one person that chronically did this to me, I wouldn't go to dinner with them anymore.
I know. That's probably the
I would draw a boundary and just not go to dinner with them anymore.
Let me ask you this. When everybody's like, when you're being served, and let's say there's 5 people at your table and one person's dinner's late, do you go ahead and start eating or do you wait for someone at the table to say, like if you're the one that doesn't have the food, obviously you have to be the one that says, everybody go ahead and eat. Or do you just go ahead and eat?
Depends. Again, it depends on who I'm with. Like if I'm with you and Josh and, like Vanessa or Liz, I would look at all of you and be like, I'm going to go ahead and start. I am starving.
Right.
But if it's like we're at dinner in New York with people we don't know very well that we're doing business with, I'm going to sit and I'm going to be polite.
Yeah, that's what I think you kind of have to do. But it really bugs me when people don't immediately say, go ahead and start.
That's the worst because I immediately, number one, I've had it with kitchens not delivering food all at the same time because it puts us all in a very precarious position. But I'm always, my meal is the delayed meal, I immediately say, please go ahead and eat.
Same.
Do not wait on me.
Same. Totally.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you what I've had it with. I've had it with belts, and I want you to hear me out on this. So as a woman, you have high-waisted pants, mid-waisted pants, and then low-waisted pants that are around your hip. And if I'm wearing high-waisted pants and I bought the belt that I want to put on with the high-waisted pants, when I tried it on in the store, I tried it on with the low-waisted pants. It doesn't quite fit.
Right. It's different.
And vice versa. And I feel like you just can't find a belt if you're a woman that always fits with whatever size your waist is. The pants are aligning on your waist. And I have this constant problem, like this belt I have on today. I really need a size smaller, but because I have on high-waisted jeans. But if I wear this belt with kind of some low riders, kind of some hip riders, fits perfectly.
Yeah, that's the problem. Or what I hate is you get it with the high-waisted jeans, so it's smaller, and then it looks ridiculous with the low-waisted jeans where you need a bigger, and so it's almost like you have to buy 2 belts, and that seems like a waste.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it. I'm up to my eyeballs with this belt situation because I have all of these different waisted pants, and then the belts I like to mix and match every single day, a different belt. And like this belt I have on right now, I literally want to take it and just throw it out the car when I'm driving down the street because it doesn't work with these pants. It drives me crazy. And then if I go get another hole in it, then this end of it is going to be curled around to the small of my back.
It's too waggy.
And I don't know what's going on with the belt industry, but there seems to be no regulation, especially in Trump's America. I've noticed this more and more.
Well, everything's worse in Trump's America. I don't think there's any question about that.
I've had it. I've had it with the belts. Welcome to I've Had It. We are America's top DEI podcast, broadcasting from the buckle of the Bible Belt, although neither of us are religious at all. We're both wildly progressive and getting more so by the day.
I think that's one thing Trump's America is making everybody that's on the left even more left because he's so fucking crazy.
I forgot to mention our names. I'm Jennifer.
Oh, I'm Angie.
She is
Effortlessly
America's
chic.
top DEI hire.
America's top DEI, me mom meat curtains, effortless.
Legal Eagle.
Legal Eagle, effortlessly
You know what would be
chic.
You know what would be great? The real Legal Eagle. I wish he'd sue you for us kind of using the name Legal Eagle just for a distraction.
Just for a little entertainment value.
Yeah.
Think about suing somebody. It's just a pain in the ass. Everything about it.
I
It's a
know it
pain.
is. I need something to take my eye off the ball of the Russian billionaire power grab on the United States of America.
I think we're stewing in that for quite some time. Definitely the foreseeable future.
Kylie,
Yes.
do you have this issue with belts?
I don't have this issue with belt. I have before, and you know what I do? I take a knife and I'll like make my own holes.
Surgery?
Mm-hmm.
I would have done that at your age too.
DIY surgery?
Yes. You know what it reminds me of is a habit of mine is they now sell most bathing suits separately. You have to buy the top and you have to buy the bottom.
I like this.
I like this
I
too.
like
You don't
this.
like it? Why don't you like it?
Why do you want to do that?
Just because I like the ability to, like, maybe I want a certain size on the bottom and a different size on the top. Also, I do think it's kind of fun if it's a bikini and it's a solid color,
Right.
doing like,
little mix match.
a little mix, like
Yeah.
2 different shades of pink, kind of an ombre bikini, and you can customize it yourself that way, or 2 different shades of blue, and you're doing like, a darker blue on the bottom and then kind of an aqua on the top. And so I like having that type of control, purchasing control in this late stage capitalism that we're in.
I just like being able to get a bathing suit that's big enough for my boobs and for my butt.
I just want to buy it.
A set.
One purchase. It's a set. I don't have to think about it. Cost me double. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't need to customize my bathing suit.
You could do a one piece.
I don't want to do a one piece.
Okay, I didn't know until we went to Italy that when you wear a one piece, you bring the crotch over to pee. You don't take the whole thing off. Like in 54 years,
What?
I had no idea.
What?
Yeah.
Who was doing this?
I was taking the whole thing down. I was like, had a one piece on,
I remember.
and I took the whole thing down.
Yeah.
And our friend Liz was like, what is wrong with you? You're supposed to just pull the crotch over.
Pull the crotch to the side.
Pull the crotch to the side. I had no earthly idea that was a thing.
See,
that's great.
This is one of the more beautiful things about life, that someone could be at your advanced age and you're still learning and open to learning and learning new pee tricks.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I was
Take
like,
the crotch, slide it over, hike the leg, let her rip, put it back, jump in the ocean.
yeah, never knew that until this.
Kylie,
summer.
what about you?
I definitely don't undress. I mean, being fully naked, dripping wet, bathing suit around your ankles, that sounds like my worst nightmare, Pumps. I can't believe you were doing that.
Yeah, well, I didn't put it around my ankles, but I put it down. I mean, I was naked.
Even a romper, you pull to the side.
I've never done that either.
Yeah.
I always completely undress. I'm just rolling around these bathrooms in the stall, butt naked from the knee up.
See, this is why I think you would be a great candidate for one of these nude resorts. I do.
Please, let's not go back there.
I don't know. I just think it could be kind of fun for you. Why not?
Running around. It'd be airy.
I think you could go. It could be, the podcast could pay for it. And it could be a content creation trip where you're going, you have notes, and you're getting a lot of information to bring back to Asshole Island to help us get through Trump's America. You go underground to the nudist resort, participate in all the activities. I mean, if they're having bubble bath time in the hot tub, I want you and those sagging dragons over there motorboating like nobody's business.
If I come back with a black eye from naked volleyball from my own breasts, we'll know that I did. You know, honestly,
Would you do it?
here's the deal. If I didn't have to be walking around naked, I would totally go just for content because I just think it would be so interesting.
But why? I mean, you used to answer your front door naked. Why all of a sudden you have an aversion?
I knew it was you.
Yeah.
And I'm not like I'm not like modest, but I wouldn't just like flit around naked at a nudist resort.
So here's something we need to find out. At the nudist resort, can you wear panties? Like, we just need to email one of these resorts, the concierge desk. So we have a candidate that we think might want to go to the all-inclusive nude resort. But she's a little bit modest. Can she wear panties? Because you'd let the dragons just go, right?
Yeah, the dragons
You
wouldn't
pop
bother
them
me.
out
Yeah,
at
I wouldn't
all
care.
times. Yeah.
I'd be running around with a hanger on the end of my nipple the whole nudist resort.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you that are new listeners, one of Pump's tricks, tell them, Pumps.
A party trick back in the day. Now, I think gravity may have caught me up on this, but I could balance a hanger on the end of my nipple. And I'd just take it and I would put it up there and it would just hang perfectly even. Now, I just think, the last time I did it, which has probably been a year or two ago, I could do a wooden hanger. I could do a plastic hanger. Any hanger challenge, I could do it. I've been regulated to wire hangers because of gravity.
Okay, Kylie, what's going on the internet regarding our podcast?
I've got a couple reviews for you. I'm going to pop them up.
Okay.
This one is titled Bangs 5 stars. And she writes, okay, hi ladies. I've had it stand here. I've been here since literally day one. I love you both so much. But Jen and Pumps, ... Please stop it with the bang slander. Okay? I'm 29 and I cut my own bangs when I was 25 and I have not gone back. It's a part of my identity and they're so cute. Are they a lot of work? Yeah. Do they literally ruin my morning sometimes when they don't do what I want them to do? Yeah. But I actually think they make me look younger. I can't imagine myself without bangs. So Pumps, as a 29-year-old with bangs who loves them, get them, love them, and embrace them. Bye, Kirsten.
Love
Okay,
her.
here's what I have to say. Some people are super cute with bangs.
Great with bangs.
Some people, they have these bangs, and I'm like, oh my God, your bangs are so cute. Now, I will say on the yassified version of you, I thought you looked pretty cute. I mean, MAGA cute. But I mean,
I think some people look great with bangs, but my problem is I like the easiest hair you can ever come up with. And it's just easier to put your hair all the way back in a ponytail than fight with the bangs. But I'm impressed that she can cut her own bangs because I've done that a couple times with disastrous results. I didn't know that when your hair's wet, it's longer and it shrinks up when it's drier. I learned that the fucking hard way.
what age did you crack that
Oh, it's
code?
high school.
Okay. All right, Kylie, who's next?
Okay, this one is titled Saving My Life, 5 stars. Thank you, ladies, for garnering all of my frustrations and disenchantment. I love the pettiness of it all, and I love it when you comment on the daily disgrace that is the second coming vomit emoji of Trump and his merry band of ass kissers. Thankfully, I live in a blue state, but I know this bunch of right-wing nut jobs will not rest until we're all think, pray, and living as they themselves choose. Thank you, ladies, all of you. Your podcast was the first that I listened to after the debacle of the last election. Much love to you all.
I love that. Thank you for that message because I want our listeners to know that, you know, we have this podcast where it's more fun and we do this twice a week, but we also have iHip News, which is political hits twice a day, 15 to 20 minute episodes. And we have to stay abreast of the news all the time so we know what the hell we're talking about. And it's taken a toll.
Yeah, I've lost sleep at night. I
Yeah.
wake up in kind of like a sweaty panic. Like, it's terrifying.
It really is. What they're doing is exhausting. But anyway, I have some news stories, non-Trump related, that I'm going to share with everybody today. The first one is a new study finds that friends who often playfully insult each other are 300% more honest and loyal. Research shows that we should all absolutely relentlessly roast our friends. Contrary to popular belief, psychologists believe that friends who grill each other with frequent, good-natured jokes might have stronger friendships after all. In fact, one study suggested that those who playfully insult each other, as long as it's in jest, of course, are actually 300% more loyal and honest. Have I told you how much older you are than me lately?
Fuck off. Talk about low-hanging fruit. Is this what happens in Trump's America? You just go for the lowest hanging fruit
know.
all the time?
Always.
Now, when I read that article, I saw it and I was like, I think that's right.
It's true. We
It's
always
totally true.
razz each other
Always.
all the time. If I get some sort of like bad comment on the internet, nobody is happier about this insult to me than Pumps. I mean, she revels in it. But I will say, when somebody attacks you on the internet, I'm always like, That's my fucking job. I will fucking cut a bitch. Only I get to bully pumps. I will
She says that to me
absolutely
all the
take
time.
those fuckers out. Do not fuck with my pumps. That's my job. Because then you know I love you.
That's right.
Okay. All right. This is something that's so wild. And I have I have a high school senior right now, and he's applied to colleges, and I've had it with waiting on college results. We're still waiting to hear from some colleges. And then my older son's applying to law school. So this whole going to college thing has become the biggest racket of all rackets. And here's the headline. Your kid got into college. Does she need a bed party? Parents are tricking out their children's bedrooms to celebrate college acceptances, sometimes spending thousands of dollars. A bed party is a celebration usually thrown for a high school senior who has been accepted to college, where they decorate their bed with merchandise from their chosen university, including clothing, blankets, balloons, and themed snacks, essentially showcasing their school pride and excitement about attending that institution. It's often accompanied by photos on social media to share the news with friends and family. Parents are spending upwards of $5,000 on these. So, like right now, my youngest son Roman applied to 14 colleges. Why? I don't know. But we've heard from about 4 to 5. We are still waiting on others. We're not doing any of this.
No.
I'm not going to be doing any of this. And again, why is everything so performative?
That's what I was going to say. When it said, and they often take photos and post it on social media, that's the whole game. That's the only thing they care about. I mean, here's the deal. Shut the fuck up. This is stupid. If you do it, you're stupid. Congratulations to your child for getting in. I mean, when my kids got in, it was like, oh, yay, great. That was it. That was the list. I mean, it's just everything is about performance. And then now we're doing the whole dorm room situation where you have a decorator go do the dorm room and you jazz it all up and it's tens of thousands of dollars. This is stupid. This is not preparing people for reality. This is not what happens. I blame 100% of this on the parents. 100%.
Completely. It's just such a, I see why Gen Z is always so risk adverse and always like terrified to do things, because every time you get on the internet, you're seeing this perfectly curated version of somebody who's living a parallel life from you. And this mother is doing all of this, overly decorating the room and exploding confetti. For sure they had gender reveal parties. That's where it started.
Of course.
And I bet they have a bunch of Stanley Cups too.
Yeah.
But then think about the majority of kids, like maybe their parents can't afford to send them to college, or they don't want to take on student loans and they're going to, maybe a VOTEC school, or maybe they're taking a gap year, maybe they're just immediately going to work, or I don't know. I just think that we are just constantly highlighting this path that somebody somewhere wrote, that this has to be the only American path that everybody has to go down. And then I just think there's a lot of emptiness behind all of that.
I completely agree. There's just not a lot of substance to that. If you want your friends to know where your kid's going to school, take a picture. So-and-so is going to so-and-so place. I mean, just all this, the balloons and all the money and the time, it just seems inefficient, ineffective, and stupid to me.
Yeah. All right. We've got that figured out. I think this is stupid. The college kid thing.
The whole thing's stupid.
Okay. Listener, today we have a big day. This is, we have a great guest. I mean, like a really, really, really good guest. When we first started the podcast a couple of years ago, we made a list of guests that we would like to have. And this guest was near the top of it, as was Barack Obama, which we died laughing when we put him on the list because we knew that we would never, ever, ever interview Barack Obama. Much to our surprise,
It's a shock.
as a shock to us mostly, we interviewed Barack Obama before we interviewed this person.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, but we love her. She is smart, fights the good fight, great liberal. Let's welcome to I've Had It. She's a comedian, television host, 6-time New York Times best-selling author and advocate, Chelsea Handler. Listener, do you want the fastest working GLP-1 for half the list price? Roe's got you, and our very own Pumps has had incredible success with Roe. Pumps, tell our listeners all about it.
Roe is so great because you get GLP-1s if they're right for you. You don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to wait in a waiting room. They send them right to your door. They're cheaper and they're effective. You can lose up to 15% of your body weight in 1 year.
That's incredible. Roe now offers FDA-approved weight loss vials for half the list price of auto-injector pens without applying insurance or saving cards and with results you can see faster. Join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Roe to access GLP-1s. Go to roe.co/hadit to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/hadit. Go to roe.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight with a weight-related condition on 5 milligrams of medication when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto-injector pens when paying cash without applying insurance or savings cards. I've Had It is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game, shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. This episode is supported by FX's Dying for Sex, starring Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate. Inspired by a true story, this series follows Molly, who after receiving a terminal cancer diagnosis, decides to leave her husband to explore the full breadth of her sexual desires. She gets the courage and support to go on this sex quest from her best friend, Nikki, who stays by her side through it all. FX's Dying for Sex, all episodes streaming April 4th on Hulu. All right, let's welcome to Asshole Island, Chelsea Handler. Chelsea, how are you?
Oh my God, welcome. Thank you for having me at Asshole Island, on Asshole Island. I love assholes and I love islands.
Exactly. This is a place where we can all come to celebrate petty grievances and be the counter programming to toxic positivity, self-help, all the stuff, because it's just exhausting. It's exhausting being on the internet right now. It's exhausting being an
Toxic
American.
positivity is a real thing. I hear you.
Yes. All right, Chelsea, what have you had it with?
Oh God. I mean, a lot of men, flip-flops for sure. People talking to me on, not even talking to me, but people talking to each other on planes. That I find annoying when people try to get to know each other. Yeah. I find people at airports with no sense of urgency annoying when they're at the airport and they're just looking around, or they have a water bottle going through TSA. It's like, was the last flight before 9/11? How can you possibly think in this day and age that a full jug of water is acceptable to go through TSA? You haven't gotten that memo? Yeah. What else do I find annoying? People who are really rude to service people. I've had it with that. And I will say something to a stranger. I've actually get off on that. So if you're around me in a restaurant or on a plane and you're rude, then you're going to hear about it from me. And that's always an unwelcome, exchange for that person. I've had it with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, obviously. Mm-hmm. I had it with them before they even really took office. There's not much I haven't had it with.
Right. When we emailed with you prior, you mentioned something about having it with dog parks.
Oh yeah, I've had some of my worst exchanges in the world, in my life, at dog parks. I talk about, my new book is out. I talk about that in my new book, about rescuing my most recent dog. His name is Doug. He's a black chow chow. He's so sexually charged. I mean, not with me, but I just find him so attractive and debonair.
Right.
But when I went to go meet up with him to have a viewing of Doug, I ran into a man at a dog park, and I tell the story in my book, but it was pretty ridiculous. And he was a gay man. And I've established a lot of goodwill with most of the gay people in America and abroad. So for him, this guy went off on me. And then once he realized who I was, he doubled down and was like, I think the last thing he said to me was, "You're a whore, Chelsea Handler." And it was 10 a.m. On like a Friday morning at a dog park in Brentwood. And then obviously that was just so funny and ridiculous, because obviously if you're screaming at somebody at a dog park and calling them a whore, you've got some problem.
Right. I want to get back. So you adopted Doug, but you went to view him first. Was this clandestinely viewing? Were you watching him play with somebody else before you decided to get him?
It's a showing, a dog showing, like what you do when you go see a house. That was a potential buy. I have a thing for chow chows. That's my type.
Okay.
So they brought me 2 chows. One is called a blue chow, but they're not blue, they're gray.
Okay.
And then they have a black chow. And obviously we know my propensity towards black men. So there was no decision to make.
So, we have really attractive dogs too. And I think very photogenic dogs, great personalities, very congenial, very attractive. And it's great around the house when you have a really attractive dog. But I find it really annoying in public, because then your dog's so attractive, it invites conversations that you really don't want to participate in.
Yeah, no shit. I don't bring my dog to half of the places I go, because I don't want to deal with all of the attention he's getting. I'm already trying to be incognito. I don't want someone asking me about my dog. So I just pretend. So I bring him when I need a buffer. Like if I need an excuse to get out of a place sooner than I would like sooner than later, I'll bring him, and they'll be like, "Oh, I have to go, Doug." It's a great excuse to get out of things, but it's also a real pain in the ass if you're just like randomly. I totally hear you. When I'm in Whistler in the winter, which I usually am, when I walk down with him in the village, and people think he's a bear. I had 3 5-year-old Australian girls going, "Oh, Daddy, it's a bear. She has a bear." I'm like, oh my God. And so it's cute, but I don't really invite those kinds of interactions.
Right. These are interactions where people don't take into account the feelings of the listener. And I find myself in this situation all the time, where somebody is just sharing a lot of information, a lot of detail about their life. And as they're expressing this, I think, are they not thinking about my feelings? Are you not taking into account the feelings of the listener about how breathtakingly boring this conversation is?
I couldn't agree with you more. It's like when people, it's almost like, there are so many situations where people say things that are so stupid that you just want to go, really? Like, you didn't edit that? And like when people come up to me and they recognize me, but they don't know exactly from where, and they'll say, "Are you famous?" Like, who are you? How is one supposed to react to some sort of question like that? Am I supposed to list all of my credits like an asshole and be like, "Well, you may have seen me in, Hot," or like, can you imagine? And so I just don't understand how you could possibly say to someone, "Are you famous?"
That is the dumbest thing ever. There was an article recently that people that engage in small talk have a lower IQ than people that despise small talk. And I was like, that confirms right here that we're all so smart, because I despise small talk. I won't go to places because I'm like, it's a small talk yak fest. I'm out.
Yeah. As soon as the weather comes up, I'm guilty of it. Like when I'm real desperate,
Yes.
I will bring up the weather, just if I'm in an elevator and someone's like taking me to the next floor for something and they work for the place that I'm going to. Like I have to, like if it's a podcast and they have someone meet me in the lobby. And then as soon as the weather comes up, even if it's I initiate it, I have to stop talking because I'm so disappointed in myself.
Does silence bother you? Like in an elevator or something like that? I start talking because the silence makes me nervous.
Yeah, I think that's why we all do it. But I think it's really good to get comfortable with silence and not and not try to like interrupt it, because then it's almost a game, you know? Like after I went to therapy for a while, and my psychiatrist was like, listen, you don't have to be the center of attention at every dinner party. Like hang back, don't insert yourself. Not everyone needs your opinion. And I remember going to like a few dinner parties after that, really trying not to like, you know, talk, like going, okay, don't be the reason. You don't have to be the center of attention. You don't have to be the life of the party. Just sit back and let someone else handle that. It was brutally boring when I did that. I was like, well, who's going to take over? Like, if I don't do it, I'm not interested.
You didn't realize how much fun you were.
I know. I'm always reminded, I'm like, you are the party. You might as well bring it, you know?
So there were these rumors, these pictures of you with a very distinguished, handsome British.
Which one? There's so many rumors. I can't keep up.
The Ralph Fiennes. I don't know how you say his name.
Ray Fiennes. No, we just left the party together.
Did you make out with him? Did you make out?
No, I did not.
No.
We left the party together and we went to another party together, and we were with a large group of people. Nothing romantic ensued, although I love how everybody is rooting for that.
I think he's pretty hot.
I do too.
It's hot.
Yeah, I think he's
hot.
really hot. And I like the accent. You know, we live in Oklahoma City, so we're very easily impressed
with accents.
By accents. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, because everybody here just has a Southern accent. And so it's always so impressive for us.
My assistant, Karen, she's been my assistant for over 10 years now. She was my assistant for 9 years. She left to have a baby. She thought that she didn't want to expose me to her child rearing, and I appreciated that. And now that the baby is 2, she's returned, and she's from Enid, Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I have a big connection to Oklahoma via my assistant, Karen.
Does she tell you it's just MAGAville, USA around here?
Well, she definitely is disappointed with the politics of Oklahoma, as you women are. And I appreciate how disappointed you guys are. It's a very great representation of Oklahoma for you guys to have your own podcast and have it be so popular. You're doing the Lord's work. And I know the Lord is someone that a lot of Oklahomans believe in. So
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, it's kind of neck to neck, Jesus and Trump. I mean, they're kind of in a neck to neck race right now.
Can you imagine Jesus being supportive of Donald Trump? I love when Christianity and religion is obfuscated with our president, as if sending people out of this country and deporting people, that's very Christian, discriminating against people who are transgender and gay and women and of color. I mean, honestly, there is nothing less Christian.
Well, you know, the breed of Christianity in the Bible Belt is different. In the Bible Belt, these people are primed to support Donald Trump. You have these really horrible architecture built churches where the whole idea is to grift. They accept Venmo. The pastor is a liar, a con man, and it is a total. It's basically just like Trumpism. There's a cruelty to it. There is otherizing people, demonizing trans people, demonizing gay people, and most importantly, the worship of capitalism in these churches. And so for me, because I'm an atheist and was raised by atheists in the buckle of the Bible Belt. So for me, when I see the jump from people go from being evangelicals to Trump supporters, to me, it makes perfect sense. The through line is just right there. Pumps was raised evangelical and has deconstructed her faith. And
thank God.
No shit.
It's amazing I'm as normal as I am, and that's not very normal. It's a low bar.
Yeah. I can tell by the coat that you're wearing and the color that you're transitioning out of evangelical behavior. So good for you, girls. I mean, stick together, please. We need you.
Totally. Okay, Chelsea, we're going to play a game with you called Had It or Hit It.
Okay.
Oh my God. Welcome to Had It or Hit It. I would hit it.
Had it.
Had it. I hit it every day, sometimes twice a day. Okay. Had it or hit it, psychedelics.
Had it, and will continue.
I've
hit it. Sorry.
I was like, I know you look.
Sorry.
I watched your
literally hit it every day. I mean, yesterday I woke up. Honestly, I was in Seattle. I had a book signing in Seattle. I had to fly here. I got off the plane. had to go to my trainer, got my hair color done, then had to do another interview. And I woke up yesterday morning in Seattle and I was like, how am I going to get through this day? Because it's been like 14 days in a row. And I rolled over, grabbed a microdose of LSD and said, let's get after our day. So I am always about to hit it. That is my
I
MO.
love that.
You know, my husband is a recovering opioid addict, and he had taken SSRIs for years and didn't really have a lot of success. And I know some people have great success on antidepressants, but he really didn't. So he started doing ketamine therapy through a medical doctor. It's legal in Oklahoma, if you can believe it. But he goes to the doctor.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it.
And so is weed. Anyway, intravenously, like once a month, and it completely transformed the way he organized his trauma in his brain. And it has been so helpful for him in maintaining his sobriety. And at first, when he came home and he was like, I think I need to do psychedelics. I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. I've been to 5 family weeks and you're coming home and telling me you want to take drugs to treat your drug addiction. Fuck you. And then I'm watching Anderson Cooper one night on 60 Minutes, and he's like, Johns Hopkins University is talking about microdosing psilocybin. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to go say sorry. So I walk up to Josh and I'm like, hey, I'm really, really sorry, but I think you're right about this. Anyway, so he started doing this and quit taking SSRIs, and it has been a complete game changer in him sustaining his sobriety and finding serenity and happiness. So I'm a huge believer in this microdosing.
Oh my God, I love this story. This is such a success story. I couldn't agree more. I mean, so many people who have real trauma and actually participate, whether it's microdosing, whether it's guided therapy. I have a lot of friends. I live in Canada, usually during the wintertime, and the best and cleanest drugs are up there. And I have a friend who's a doctor, and she's a therapist, and he's a doctor. And these guys do sits with people, like psilocybin sits, ketamine sits, MDMA sits for couples. And the results are incredible. So it's indisputable that those kinds of drugs help heal trauma and drug addiction.
Okay, Chelsea, had it, which means you don't like it.
Thank you for reiterating the rules of the game, because I'm a little bit slow on the uptake sometimes. I didn't have my LSD today.
All right. Had it or hit it, sexting.
No, I've had it with sexting. I don't find that sexy. I like flirting, but I don't want I don't want a dick pic, and I don't want someone being like, I'm going to, eat your pussy. I don't want to talk like that on, you know what I mean? Those texts I just assume anything you put in writing is going to end up publicly.
Right.
So I don't want to be like, I can't wait to, like that kind of talk is better just left for the bedroom.
I agree. I agree.
In person.
Okay. Had it or hit it, Canada.
Hit it, always. I love Canada. It's my favorite place, and I consider myself to be a Canadian.
I love Canada. What do you think about all this bullshit people are doing to Canada? Does it just make you want to tear your hair out?
Yeah, I feel like I have to go represent and apologize to the entire country. I just can't believe that we are treating our neighbors like that. Like, it is so clear what is going on. Like, we are basically acting in Russia's best interest now, because these are all Russian interests. So the idea of Canada, which has basically no military defense against us, becoming our 51st state is so disrespectful and so insulting. So, I mean, I just am constantly trying to make nice with Canadians. There's only like 35 million of them, you know what I mean? And we have like 340 million people. So we really need to get on it in terms of supporting them. Like, what are we going to do? Invade Canada? Like, is that what's going to happen? Our military is going to do that? I don't think so.
Well, I think that we have a situation where Donald Trump is completely compromised by Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
And has hired Elon Musk to be Donald Trump's full-time nanny. And Republicans during the election like to ask the question, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? Completely forgetting that we were all like locked up from COVID and millions of people were dying. But I think we have to start asking the question now, are you better off today than you were on January 19th? Like, think about the complete historic realignment that is happening. 80 years of peacemaking and democracy building that we've done is being flushed down the toilet because Donald Trump is compromised by a weak thug dictator, Putin. And it's so maddening. I mean, we have another podcast where we talk about politics all the time, and it's like completely beating me down because I want to pull my hair out by the root. It's so frustrating that half the country is so goddamn dumb.
I know, but I have to believe that more than half the country, like, overturning democracy is, okay, like, it happened in Iran, it's happening in Venezuela. It's been happening in Venezuela for many years. We're talking about countries that have a lot fewer people than we do. So with 340 million people, I just keep thinking it's impossible to overturn democracy with that many people, even though the Democrats don't seem to have some sort of resistance plan. We haven't developed that yet. But that is what I'm thinking. Like, at some point, there's got to be, I don't think it's possible to do that. Like, either whether certain states secede from the union or what, but like, that's just not going to happen. People aren't going to put up with that. And I'm eager to find out what our move is, because I'm not trying to spearhead it.
Like, do you have any worry about the elections?
Yes. I think Elon Musk is now in charge of,
I worry about
those elections. I think the algorithms, everything he does, the misinformation. I can't believe these tech bros and all of the things that they're doing it's like, I just don't understand how these billionaires need more money. Like, when is enough money? You're never going to spend $400 billion. It's impossible. I mean, especially when you don't give any away in charity or do any philanthropy, it would be really hard to burn through that. So, I really don't, I just can't believe the genuflection that has been happening since he took office.
Some might say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. Could it be because it has a sleek, spam-free site or the most in-depth school info? Homes.com knows every parent wants the best for their kids, so they're the only ones with school and district details and reviews from multiple sources, including niche. It may be Homes.com's super comprehensive and transparent agent directory, or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home best. Perhaps it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. Homes.com has 22 data visualization layers, 7 environmental layers, and allows you to search by commute and architectural factors. It's the home search you've been searching for. Go to Homes.com today for home shopping the way it should be. Homes.com, we've done your homework. Pumps, vacation season is knocking on our door, and this year I'm going to treat myself to some luxe upgrades that I deserve from Quince.
Quince has the best products. I love their wash and wear silk dresses and tops. They are so easy to maintain and great for travel.
I personally like their lightweight European linen styles. I have a bunch of these. They're so cute. They start at just $30. They also have premium luggage options and stylish tote bags to carry all of your new vacation gear. Listener, for your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/hadit for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/hadit to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/hadit. Okay, had it or hit it, inspirational quotes.
I love inspirational quotes. My book is filled with them because I just think people need an injection of optimism. I know when I read something that sticks with me, I love that. Like, I like a little positivity. There's too much negativity around right now. So I'm very much into kind of infusing everywhere. Like, wherever I go, I want to double down with that stuff, with everything. I mean, I'm not setting out to make, to say things that are quotable, but when I read things from other people that are quotable, I love that. I'm like, wow, that's something every woman needs to hear, especially when it's directed towards women.
Okay, here's a nuance of this. You go to somebody's Instagram page, and at the top it says, like, live, laugh, love, Jesus is my homeboy, and it has a sunflower and a cross, right? And then it's full of inspirational quotes. But on yours, they've written, Chelsea, you are a democrat, transgender lover, can't wait for you to burn in hell. But her whole Instagram, the whole facade is this inspirational quote thing. We here on Asshole Island believe that when you see people that traffic in inspirational quotes, particularly in a performative manner online, that it is a red flag, much the same way when couples that live together have conversations in the comment section online. Also a red flag.
That I also believe that's a red flag. Yeah, any couple. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and there's a lot of examples of that. Very public examples of that.
Yeah. Okay. Had it or hit it, flight attendants.
I hit it. I love flight attendants. I dedicated my entire new book to them. They do not get enough respect. These people put up with garbage and nonsense and inebriated people and men with fucking bare feet on planes, okay? They deserve raises and they deserve to drink and do drugs while they're transporting us from one location to the next.
Yeah. I loved it when they got to duct tape people during COVID. I was like, go for it, because people are awful. They act terrible.
As if you would be mad at a flight attendant about the rules on a flight. I once had a guy next to me tell on me because I had my phone on and I was listening to something during takeoff. I'm like, and he flagged the flight attendant to tell on me. Meanwhile, we're both adults. I'm sitting right next to him. It's like we're as if we're in like, fucking Catholic school or something. And the flight attendant was like, "Sir, she's right here. If you want her to take her headphones off for takeoff," which, by the way, is not a thing. You can actually listen to something while you're taking off. I mean, maybe not now with the way the FAA is being organized by Doge and Elon Musk. Maybe you should turn your phone or your program off. But the flight attendant was like, "I'm not ever gonna fuck with Chelsea. Like, I've got their back and they've got my back, and passengers can, I don't like when people tell on each other as adults. It's so stupid."
Okay. Had it or hit it, pickleball.
Oh, I've had it with pickleball.
Chelsea.
I've had it.
I've won a tournament in pickleball.
Okay, you know what?
Most recent tournament, I was a semifinalist, which means #almost a winner.
Which means you're almost an exerciser. Okay, I need to make it to you. But pickleball is not a real sport, and everyone needs to stop acting like it is. I can understand that there's fun to be had, but it is not that is not a demonstration of athleticism.
Have you played?
I have played. I played at the Bush Compound in Kennebunkport with George W. Bush watching me play. I was very stoned, obviously, because I can't be around Republicans without having some drugs in my system. But I didn't play for long because there was really nothing to do because it was pickleball. So you just stand there and wait, and then usually not much happens.
What's George W. Bush like in person?
He's pretty charming in person. He's got dimples and that always gets me. So, but I had to go. I was in Maine and I'm friends with his daughters, and they were like, "Come over, we'll do a pickleball tournament." I'm like, I can't go to George W. Bush's house. I said to Barbara Bush, his daughter, I'm like, "Sissy, I can't be seen with your father. I have outbursts. I don't know when they're going to happen. I don't know when I'm going to go off on someone. And your father, I would hate to do that on his own property. You know what I mean? I would hate to be a guest and be like, "Hey, asshole." And so my brother was like, "Can just take one of your edibles?" My sister's like, "Take 2." And my other sister's like, "Take 4." Because that's when your personality is really subdued. So I did. I took like 40 milligrams of THC and I went there. I met the president. He was very charming. He wanted me to like him. He paid attention to my family in a very nice, respectful way, the way a politician is trained to do. He duped me, and then he showed me his artwork, his painting collection.
It's so funny I hated him, and I had so much focus for 8 years, a very concentrated, myopic hate onto him. And then, we got Obama, and it was, hope and change, everybody's great. And then you get Trump again. And then during Trump's first term, W comes back out and he's painting portraits of immigrants. And I remember this moment and I go, "Oh, George W. Bush, how sweet is that?" It's like it all just dissipated. All of this focus of me like literally grinding up Jon Stewart every night from the buckle of the Bible Belt, snorting it. Anything I could do to just dislike Donald Trump. I mean, not Donald Trump, him. That's where I am right now, but George W. Bush. And then they get out of office and they don't have that power anymore. And they don't occupy as much real estate in your brain anymore. Don't get me wrong. I still think he's a war criminal and not the best president, but I think I could probably go play pickleball with him.
But also, well, we have so much, like, it's so much worse now. What Republicans mean is so much more threatening now to democracy that it kind of takes the, you know what I mean? It's like overshadows him. Like, he does seem like a nice guy now.
Right. Totally. Okay. Last one. Had it or hit it, the United States of America.
Well, I'm not going to say I've had it with the country that I was born in and that I live in, but I'm very disappointed in everything that's going on. I'm very worried about all the people who feel so scared and threatened, and I'm worried about all of this private information that's going to be exposed, and all of the people in government agencies that are losing their jobs. So, I mean, I could see, I could see a way, like, I could see myself leaving if things get so bad. But I really don't want to bail on my country, and I don't want to bail on the people that, like, you know, depend on people who are outspoken and have big platforms to defend democracy. I don't want to say I'm exhausted but I mean, I am, we all are, but I'm not ready to give up yet.
I like that answer. That's a really good answer. I like it.
It's a very good answer. And I hope that you're right about the 340 million people and not able to hoodwink us and make this an autocracy. All right, Chelsea, tell us, you dropped little nuggets about your Netflix comedy special, which I can't wait for. And then we have
your book. It's great.
Your book.
All your
here
books are really
to
good.
show to our viewer, our YouTube
I'll
viewer.
have what she's having. That's the name of my book.
There she is.
Yes. And then my special comes out March 25th. It's called The Feeling. That's on Netflix. And yeah, I'm celebrating my 50th birthday with lots of new releases, and I've got lots of stuff lined up for this year. So I'm very, very happy that I got to sit down with the two of you wonderful women and talk and bash our situation, or bash our leadership.
I'm so glad we did too. And we have a mutual friend, Renee Stubbs, who I've really had it with, because when Trump was inaugurated, I follow her on Instagram. She's like at the Australian Open, and then she's on the beach, and then she's with all these hot power lesbians with, you know, floating on tubes, and she's doing all this fun stuff. And I would just reply like, this is insufferable. I can't watch you having fun for one more second and one more day. But how great is Renee?
Renee's great. She came to Whistler for my party there. She came to LA. She came to New York City. I had a party in New York City. And then I said, you know what? I don't see why you're not at every party. You should come to my birthday party in LA too. And she's like, okay, I'll book a flight. And I'm like, well, that wasn't very difficult. So yeah, she likes to get around for sure.
Yeah.
And she's a real piece of work.
Yeah.
She's the best.
She'll love this. She will love this mention of her in the closing of this episode. Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on our show. When we started our podcast 2 years ago, we made a list of dream guests, and you were like probably top 5. Barack Obama was there, and we thought, well, we'll never get Barack Obama. We got Barack Obama before we got you. So
Yes,
thank you
before
so
you.
much for finally
Oh
coming
my
around.
God, I didn't know that. I have to go back and listen to that episode right now. I fucking can't wait.
Yeah, he's hot. I mean, Chelsea, he is hot.
Listen, you don't have to tell me about hot black men. Okay? I got that message and memo a long time ago, probably way before you girls did in Oklahoma, to be fair.
Touche. All right. Thanks, Chelsea. Tell Renee hi.
Thanks,
Okay,
Chelsea.
love you, girls.
Happy birthday.
Congrats on all your success.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Happy birthday. Bye.
Thank you.
Chelsea Handler.
You know, it's so weird because I watched her on Chelsea lately every night forever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like she is on the show. She's just normal and funny and smart. And I love all her specials. I'm excited for her special. That'll give me something to look forward to.
This was Kylie's top guest that she wanted. Kylie, how was that for you?
Good. I was so nervous.
You
Were you?
Yeah, I'm not even a part of it, but I was just back here like, I hope I'm doing a good job.
Were you excited?
Yes, it was Chelsea Handler Day when I woke up. That's what Anna said to me. She said it's Chelsea Handler Day.
Oh, that's sweet. I heard you giggling. I mean, she's fucking
She's
funny.
so funny.
No, she's great, and she's so pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah, she's really. I really like her. I think we're doing big things here on Asshole Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Here's the deal. We have another podcast, iHip News, drops twice daily. Please go subscribe to that podcast. And remember that Pumps is America's top DEI podcaster. And
DEI hire.
DEI hire.
Yeah.
And I think we have merch and we have a bunch of other shit. And just Pumps, tell them.
We will see you next Tuesday and Thursday.
I'll tell you what I've had. Listen up, patriots, gaytriots, and natriots. We have a new podcast that has dropped. It's called iHip News. It's Monday through Friday, every day, 15 to 20-minute hot takes on the political landscape of the United States of America, always served with a side of petty grievances.
We are on all the available platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever you get your podcasts, and YouTube.
Please go rate, subscribe, and review so that we will chart upwards with America's greatest legal mind. Pumps, what does an eagle say?
Caw-caw!
A little bit more enthusiasm.
Caw-caw!
That's it. That's
Caw-caw!
the patriotism that this country needs right there.